Your voice disappears right when you need it most, right? You're ready to speak, but something inside you tightens. Your mind floods with doubt, and suddenly staying quiet seems easier. You tell yourself it's not the right moment, or maybe it's better to let it go. But deep down, you know it's not about timing. It's about fear. Not fear of being wrong, but fear of being seen. Later that night, you ask yourself, did I sound foolish? Did I make it weird? I've seen that look before. You're not avoiding people. You're protecting yourself. Your brain isn't guarding your confidence, it's guarding your image. The one that feels safe, untouchable, perfect. But here's the truth. Silence doesn't keep you safe forever. It just distances you from your own voice. And when you finally speak, you'll realize something you should have known all along. No one was judging you as much as you were judging yourself. Chapter 1. The Mirror That Talks Back. You weren't born afraid of how you looked, sounded, or moved. Back then, you laughed without checking who was watching. You spoke before thinking how it might come across. You were pure expression until the world handed you a mirror. First, it came through small things. A teacher's correction, a classmate's laugh, a parent's sigh. Little moments that taught your brain a dangerous lesson, that being yourself comes with a cost, so it built protection. A mirror in your mind that filters everything before it leaves your mouth. Every sentence, every gesture, every pause, all rehearsed for an invisible audience. And that mirror isn't silent, it whispers, "Don't stand out. That wasn't smart enough. Say something safer." You start living for approval instead of truth. But here's the twist. That mirror was never your enemy. It was your bodyguard. It just never learned when to stand down. Next time you feel it judging you, take a breath and ask, who am I performing for right now? Because once you see the mirror for what it is, you finally remember. It was never the world judging you. It was your own reflection. Chapter 2. The Wound Beneath the Fear. Here's the thing most people miss. Fear of judgment isn't really about others. It's about an old wound that never healed. Somewhere in your past, you showed a piece of your real self. Your excitement, your truth, your weirdness, and someone rejected it. Maybe they laughed. Maybe they changed the subject. Maybe they just didn't care. And your brain took a snapshot of that moment and labeled it, never again. Now, every time you try to open up, that memory quietly presses play. But the pain didn't come from being seen. It came from being unseen after being vulnerable. Healing starts with reversing that pattern. See yourself first. Approve of yourself before anyone else does. Because when you learn to be your own witness, rejection loses its echo, and fear finally loses its job. Chapter 3. The Control Illusion. You fear judgment because, deep down, it feels like surrendering control, like handing someone else the authority to define your worth. So, you tighten your grip. You plan every word, rehearse every tone, measure every reaction, hoping precision will protect you. But all that control slowly strangles your truth. It's like trying to keep a candle from flickering by, sealing the room shut. The flame survives for a while, then dies from lack of air. I used to do that too, believing that if I sounded perfect, I'd finally feel safe. But safety built on approval is just another kind of cage. Real control comes from trust, not in outcomes, but in your intent. Because when you stop performing for permission, you finally start speaking from peace. Chapter 4. The Cost of Overthinking. Overthinking feels productive, like you're solving something. But really, it's your brain trying to trade uncertainty for control. You replay every sentence, every glance, hoping to rewrite a past that no longer exists. It's emotional procrastination, movement without progress. Think of it like running on a treadmill. You're sweating, exhausted, but still in the same place. Each loop costs more than you realize. Time, energy, and peace. While your mind replays yesterday, life quietly moves one frame forward without you. So instead of asking, did I say the right thing? Try asking, what was I really trying to say? Meaning anchors you. Analysis traps you. Because silence born from fear doesn't protect you. It erases you. And you weren't made to disappear. You were made to live out loud. Chapter 5. The Invisible Audience. It's funny, isn't it? You can be completely alone, lights dim, phone face down, and still feel like someone's watching. Like invisible eyes are tracking your every move. You hesitate before posting, before speaking, before even existing too loudly. Psychologists have a name for this, the imaginary audience. It starts in adolescence when belonging feels like survival. Back then, your brain built an internal crowd to monitor your every action. A chorus whispering, "Careful, they're watching." And the twist? Most people never turn that voice off. That's why you second guess a text, re-edit a comment, or feel embarrassed about something no one even noticed. Your mind is still performing for ghosts. Here's the truth. Everyone else is too busy replaying their own mistakes, worrying about how they look. The spotlight you fear doesn't exist. We're all just actors trying to hide our scripts. So the next time you feel those invisible eyes, smile at the irony. Because the moment you realize everyone's pretending not to be scared, you stop pretending too. Chapter 6. Reclaiming your voice. There's a quiet kind of rebellion in speaking even when your voice trembles. Not because you've conquered fear, but because you've stopped waiting for it to leave. That's the secret no one tells you. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to speak through it. Your brain only learns safety through repetition. Each time you say what you truly mean, even if it comes out messy, shaky, imperfect, you teach it that honesty won't destroy you. Confidence isn't a personality trait, it's muscle memory. You build it by carrying the weight of vulnerability over and over until it feels lighter. So when that familiar hesitation hits, try this. Say one honest sentence. That's it. Just one. Because the moment your words leave your mouth, fear loses its monopoly. Over time, you realize authenticity was never about volume. It was about truth, spoken softly but without apology. Chapter 7. The freedom beyond judgment. One day, it hits you. Judgment was never the enemy. Your attachment to it was. You've spent years trying to dodge opinions, edit yourself, and earn invisible approval. But peace doesn't come from being understood, it comes from not needing to be. When you stop building your identity around validation, something inside finally exhales. You realize opinions are weather. They come, they pass, they change. But your values, your intent, your awareness, that's the climate that sustains you. Let people misunderstand. Let them invent versions of you that fit their comfort. You'll still be here, steady, grounded, real. Because truth doesn't argue, it simply remains. Try this. Speak one truth without explaining it. Sit through one silence without filling it. Let one judgment drift away unchallenged. Do this for a week and feel how light it gets. Freedom isn't escaping eyes, it's standing tall beneath them, unbent and unashamed. You'll always care what people think. That's part of being human. But caring doesn't have to mean conforming. It means choosing what actually matters, even when it's uncomfortable. So today, say one honest thing. Even if your voice shakes, that's how you start rewriting the script your fear once wrote for you. You're not broken for fearing judgment. You're just learning to see yourself clearly without needing applause. If this spoke to you, subscribe and share it with someone still learning to speak freely.